Look at this pour.
I didn't know.
Look at this pour.
The only thing missing is you making the face and Dumb and Dumber. He was pissing like. Did you see that, America? That was quite the pour.
I ain't no mixologist, but
No.
you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, welcome
I know
back
how to pour a goddamn drink.
Welcome back to IDD for those who I don't disagree.
That's a shit show?
Segment 3 tonight. That is the redoubtable himself, Thomas J. Like question one, otherwise known as the Enablers. That's our new name. And then Tommy Tangent. A couple of new ones added to the mix tonight. Tommy Tangent.
Send us on a couple of good ones tonight, folks.
He did.
Go back and watch.
Yeah, he did. Trust me. So, by the way, if you like,
don't call me Tangent for nothing.
If you like what you see, hit that little subscribe button because it doesn't cost you anything. Hey, say who says the best things in life aren't free, America? Trust me. Anyway, segment 3. Round 1, WNBA. Now, see, here's the cool thing about this. I don't know how many sports talk shows have a segment on the WNBA, and they're like excited to talk about it. It's kind of like general news. We're devoting a segment to this because, damn it, why not? The Caitlin Clark effect has staying power.
Not talk about this on every sports show.
If they didn't, they should have. Round 1, her and her, I guess her biggest, basically Caitlin, she's one of Caitlin's idols growing up. And this is the one who said, there's a reckoning coming for you, girl. And, but
reality.
They finally squared up. And, by the way, the Indiana Fever went on the road and won this game. Pretty impressive game. Went back and forth. Heck, one of the better games I've seen this year. I think you'd agree on that.
Hell yeah.
And,
That's my favorite game of the year.
Caitlin Clark missed a triple-double by 1 rebound. And would have been.
And it's because they kept taking her out in the final 3 possessions.
Yeah, and would have no rookie, I guess, in WNBA history has ever had a triple double as a rookie. So she almost got that one yesterday.
In Phoenix. Taking it to Diana Taurasi,
who did have 19 points and made a couple of moves. Like she's 41.
She hit a logo 3. She does not play like she's 41.
She does not play like a 41-year-old.
She moves really good.
That girl can play another year or 2. Okay, so, hey, look.
If she feels like
she's the all-time leading scorer. She's in the conversation of greatest women's player ever. And I did not know. She didn't look, to his point, like a 41-year-old yesterday.
Dude. But the way Caitlin played.
Doesn't look like a rookie.
Oh, my God, she looked good
She doesn't look like a rookie.
Her passing was outstanding. Yep. When they got in transition.
Yeah.
Fucking Phoenix didn't. Phoenix looked old when they got in transition.
She pulled the Magic Johnson.
She made them look old.
She beat them with her passing, like legitimately beat them with her passing. Last person I saw do that was Jason Tatum in the NBA Finals against Dallas in Game 1 when he had 12 assists and he just made every right decision. That's what she did yesterday. She is a rookie though. Okay, so
and she had the ball in her hand a lot. Like she was. Yep. You know,
so
it wasn't I'm double teamed.
To me, and again, she only had 15 points, but she's the point guard. Her number one job is to distribute. She is in the top 4 in this league in assists as a rookie, and I don't think she's going to finish 4th. She may end up higher the way she's going. So
and she hit multiple big time momentum threes.
Yeah, I mean she made
deep
big
shots.
She made some big shots. But she made the free 88% foul shooter, by the way, as a rookie. As a rookie?
Those 2 at the end that she nailed?
Didn't even
that
flinch.
Pushed it to 3?
Didn't even put didn't even flinch.
Net.
Didn't even flinch.
No roll around the rim.
This girl does not play like a rookie. And Diana Taurasi, to her credit, gave her flowers before, during, and after this game. So, I don't know. I wonder if you saw this. When you saw all that go unfold the way it did, what went through your head?
What went through my head?
What went through your head?
Well, Jim.
Well, you wanted analysis.
Well, Jim, it's been an interesting 6 weeks.
Why?
The way you asked me that. It was like I'm the coach. So I was loving it because coming into this game, my whole thing was I wanted Caitlin to take it to Taurasi because I was still a little annoyed at how Taurasi had talked about her.
I think a lot of people are.
I
don't think you're wrong on that.
When her and Sue Bird were doing their show, and just like everything felt a little condescending and haterish.
Yeah. And Sue Bird is normally not like that.
Well, Sue Bird wasn't really jumping in.
Yeah, really.
She wasn't stopping it.
Yeah, that's not her.
But she was like, oh well, she was trying to stay out of it.
Yeah.
But I know Diana is like that's her dog.
That's who she is.
Yeah. So. I know, like, they're tight, right?
Yeah, but they want you,
Yeah. So, So seeing before the game, Diana Taurasi dap her up, which Angel Reese does the same thing. I've seen them give dap before games.
Yeah.
But like Brittany Griner kind of like leaned in, looked like she was kissing her on the neck. But she was saying something to her. And it wasn't just a, hey, what's up?
No.
She stayed there for a second.
She said something.
Yeah. So to me, that was just kind of like, that was cool.
It was
That's
cool.
like them reaching out to her. And then during the game, they had some moments where they were chatting.
Yeah.
And then obviously after the game, she gave her props. And,
she did. And
that was cool to see. Because it felt like that hadn't really been happening. And maybe that's us being sensitive because we like Caitlin Clark. Like maybe it's true to a certain extent. Like, what do you want them to do? Be all over her? But the way they treated her that game, I liked it because they competed hard as fuck against her. Who's the one guard that was locking her up?
Yeah.
She locked her up for a couple quarters. She could, and then finally Caitlin realized, okay, there's some other things I need to do here.
Yeah.
Or after that first quarter when they took her off the ball, and that was Coach Sides.
Yep.
Who is the one with the long hair that was locking her down? Is it Kalia Copper?
I can see her face, but I can't remember.
Kalia Copper, maybe?
Maybe. I can't remember.
But yeah, they were playing hard as shit against her. But yet it didn't feel like there was animosity there. And it was a great game to watch. Me, my daughter, and my oldest daughter, and my wife watched the whole game. And it was amazing.
I mean,
Caitlin's passing, to your point, was ridiculous.
She's now, I'm sorry, I was right. She's not fourth anymore now. She's third in assists. She's averaging 6.9 a game. By the way, number one for UConn, or Connecticut rather, Alyssa Thomas, 7.6. She's not that far off.
Who?
So, Caitlin Clark, she's not that far off the leader. Leader's 7.6. She's 6.9. She's
Alyssa Thomas from
Connecticut, the Sun. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's and then you got Natasha from Phoenix Cloud, who was
Alyssa Thomas. That's the one that grabbed Angel Reese by the throat and threw her down.
Yeah.
That looked bad.
Gee, Angel Reese grabbed her by the throat and threw. I can't imagine why that happened. But anyway,
Jesus.
So
violent.
You said the name like that's not a surprise at all. Not it isn't. So because veterans aren't going to take no shit talking from no rookie. That is true. So, in any event, look, she's doing a hell of a job. Taurasi showed a lot of class before, during, and after the game. When they lost, that could have been an easy pill to swallow. They lost that game, but she handled it like a professional. And you have to give people credit for that because so often we don't see that. We see the exact. I don't want to talk about this. They may give us a couple of shot answers. She stayed there, answered every damn question. I mean, she literally went on for a minute and a half about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, and the woman sitting next to her, Cloud.
Yeah.
She was like, she was shaking her head the whole time. Like, when she would say things like, what she's done is remarkable. Yeah. She was like,
she has.
So
they recognize. Look, it was a sellout yesterday in Phoenix.
And she played really well.
So they look, we're hitting her. She's responding. She's getting up.
Yeah.
She's not, kowtowing. And that's true. She's handled it like a champ. Everything that's been thrown at her, she has handled it like a champ. Not like a rookie. So, and if you notice, they're climbing in the standings.
Dude.
They're getting better.
Who was the other player? Kelsey Mitchell in the second half?
Mitchell, who's the leading scorer.
She got fucking hot.
Yeah, she's the leading scorer.
She got hot in the second half.
She averages 16.7. Caitlin averages 16.2.
Yeah.
And Caitlin found her. She's like, all right, she's hot.
Breakaway.
Yeah.
That was a game changer.
That was a big play.
Yeah.
And again, that's what a great point guard does. Okay, and again, we're so used to this era of basketball where they're more lead guards and they're trying to shoot as much as they're trying to pass. She's kind of and the thing is, she came in with a reputation of being a shooter.
She's trying to do the right thing.
She's trying to pass first. And you can see it.
You can see it.
And by the way, it's working. So, because she's getting her teammates involved.
Here's one thing I saw her do positively and then not positively, but I felt like she kind of changed midway through. So, she's so good with the cross-court passes. But sometimes it's just too much. She's not throwing to an athlete who can jump 3 feet off the ground, catch, spin move, and dunk. Sometimes she needs to keep that in her pocket. And she did it yesterday, and she pushed into the front court, got an angle, and caught somebody on a back door.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to get it
over
cross court.
Yeah.
Go dribble in, make the defense commit, and then you can get an even better pass.
See now what he's talking about because she did this earlier.
She did it
earlier this season. This is when you can tell a player's doing their homework. Because what happened in this scenario? No, this time she dribbles up, to his point, creates an angle, gets the defender looking at her to create the backdoor cut, and then she drills it. Yeah, and a month ago she was throwing the other pass.
Well,
so
even
she's
yesterday
learning.
she was doing it, but like you can see she's trying. She's
evolving.
not trying to do the same thing.
No,
all the
she's
time.
learning. And that right there tells you she's going to be a great one. She didn't walk in and think you can't tell her nothing. No, she's trying to get better every game.
Yeah,
That's
she
the
also
mark of a
threw
great
lot of
player.
Full court passes that ended up taking somebody out of bounds.
She's
But
still,
a couple of them she hit with.
yeah, she's still learning, but she's getting better all the time as an all-around player.
Her teammates' hands are starting to get. They're starting to expect the ball. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you play with somebody who passes like that,
Yeah, you're not used to
a
it.
lot of people aren't like, oh, I thought you were going to shoot it.
Yeah, they're not used to that style of ball.
Yeah. So
And
it
again,
takes,
that-
you have to adjust and realize I could get the ball at any moment.
From this player.
Right.
And by the way, that is the magic bird effect.
That's a cool
Because
person to play with.
That is the magic bird effect. And you could talk to any ex-Laker or ex-Celtic who play with those two, and they'll tell you the same fucking story. And if you close your eyes, or they don't say the name, you think they're talking about the other one. Because that's how they both played. Magic revolutionized, point guard triple doubles became. Bird and Magic are the ones who made triple doubles a thing. Okay, they're the ones that made it a thing. They weren't the first ones to do it, but they made it a thing
because of the 10 assists.
because of the 10 assists. Because the rebound, they do all three.
Yeah.
They do everything, and that's what those two made the triple double what it is. Because it was every game was one of them was doing this. So and the thing is, Bird was doing it with a point guard next to him. Because forwards aren't thought of. Bird is the greatest passing forward ever. I laugh when people talk about LeBron like he's a great. No, he's not, because he has no point guard to play next to him. If Dennis Johnson was playing with LeBron James wouldn't average 7 assists. He wouldn't even average anywhere near it. DJ averaged 9, and Bird would average 7. DJ was a legit point guard, okay? And what Caitlin Clark is doing, she is a legit point guard.
Going old school.
She actually thinks pass first, create a shot, because she's a great one-on-one player. She can get into a gap, create a mismatch, and create a shot for a teammate, and she knows how to do it, and she knows when to do it, and she's learning how to throw the right passes now.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better, trust me on this. Because
next year?
she is what we call a student of the
Especially
game.
with an off season?
Yeah.
And with that whole team, an off season together?
They have a legit shot at making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like
they're in it.
They're in it.
They're 8th right now.
And that team was the worst team in the league last year. They were the worst team in the league last year.
Yeah.
So for her to get them in the playoffs in her rookie year, when the league was gunning for her, give me a break.
What's really going to change?
Give me a break.
What's really going to elevate that team is once she's confident and comfortable enough to know she doesn't have to think pass first. Right now, she's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But once she feels comfortable to be like, I'm just going to play my game. If the pass is there, it's there.
Well-
but I'm going to start to attack.
You see this with the
That's
ascension
gonna
of
elevate
every
them.
great player. Every time she does something, they point to the next thing she doesn't do. Now it's she needs to learn to take the ball at the end and shoot the ball more. Now they're criticizing her for that. First it was she
Well,
doesn't
that's not a
pass.
criticism. I wasn't criticizing
No,
her for
you
that.
weren't, but others are. Analysts are going, she needs to know that's why they drafted her in the fourth quarter. She's got to be the one to take that shot. No.
She's trying
No,
to be a good
she should
teammate
have
right
the
now.
ball. She should make the decision, but she doesn't have to necessarily take the shot. She has to be okay, and this is what and I can point to Larry Bird in the finals against the Lakers doing this. Celtics are down 1. Bird's getting the ball. Bird waits for the double team, and this is what kind of player Bird was. Like everybody is expecting to take the shot. Dennis Johnson is standing over there fucking wide open, and Bird doesn't even draw it and kicks it. DJ hits the game winner, and that's what Bird does. She is doing that as a rookie.
Yeah. No, I'm not criticizing her. All I'm saying
No,
is...
you're not. But I'm saying the next thing, and I've been hearing this for the past couple of days, because remember they lost a couple in a row before they won on Sunday, and they were at the end. She had the ball, but she didn't take the shot.
Right, she didn't take the shot.
And the thing is, she didn't have the shot.
Yeah.
If she was taking it, it would have been a force.
Well, there was one where they were on a breakaway, and she threw it up
ahead to the girl.
and the girl was
Muffed
out
it.
of position,
Muffed
it.
Well, first of all,
And
the
it
girl
was-
took a bad angle to the basket.
Well,
that girl fucked that
No,
whole
but
thing
that
up.
was one of those where it's like you look up, you got to look up and go, I like my chances with the ball.
better than her.
That's
But again, before that girl tripped all over herself and crapped down her pants and fell into the basket.
Right move.
Yeah, because she was ahead of the pack.
Right, exactly.
But I didn't know that when that girl, first of all, the first thing that girl had no clue that she wet herself was the angle she took.
Exactly.
She had no idea where she was. And if she had just made one, she'd have had an angle for a layup. But she didn't do that.
But here's the thing. With some of these people she's throwing to, if the pass is not A+ accurate, it can't happen.
No, she hit her on the hands.
I know, but
she had to make.
Got to hit her right in stride at
Well, there's no one because this girl can't make a move on her.
I know exactly.
All this girl had to do was make one simple.
She just had to catch the ball.
Yeah, just catch the ball, and then by the way, when you come in, you lean in, so you get the shoulder and the hit, and you just play it off the glass. Not this nut job. She tries to step through and trips all over herself. And it was actually kind of comical. You should put the music onto it. Yeah, that's what she looked like.
Dude, but what I was trying to say is. So I wasn't criticizing her, and I know you weren't saying I was criticizing her. But once she realized, because there are times right now, got to keep the streak alive.
Keep the streak alive.
There are times right now where actually the right decision is to shoot the ball.
No, sometimes
but
it is.
She's making the pass, and I like it because to me she understands how people are looking at her right now, including her teammates, and she's going, you know what? I'm really going to look to get them involved before myself.
Well, first of all,
and if you're going to be wrong for a reason, I'll take that reason any day of the week.
But the thing is,
you know what I'm saying?
It's not what she's not doing. She's not forcing her shots.
Right. I love that.
And rookies are notorious for doing that because they feel like they have to prove themselves. Mm-hmm. She doesn't play like a rookie. She's like, look, if I come off this high screen, for example, and I got the shot, I'm going to take it. But if that person comes down to drop coverage, I'm going to kick it to my teammate. And she doesn't care who it is. Because that's the open shot. It's the right play.
But see, I've seen times where she's passed up an open shot for a pass, and I don't mind it.
Well, if the shot was close to the basket, again, she understands. We're down one. I don't have to take a three. I can take a two.
Yeah.
I used to blast the Celtics for years about this because they'd be down one or tied. They need two, and they take a fucking three. Why are you taking a three when if you go to the basket, you win in a tie game or you're down one? No, you're jacking a three. It's fucking stupid basketball. Dude. And it drives me crazy. And this kid doesn't do that, okay? And I think it's fucking great because I'm so used to the fucking Celtics until this year doing it all the time. Yeah. And it drove me up a wall. And he probably hears it in his sleep because it would happen so often. I'd bitch about it, okay?
Dude.
So this girl doesn't do that.
Yeah, she's really playing good basketball.
She plays good basketball.
I don't think I saw as many turnovers yesterday. I'd have to go back and look.
I have the stat.
She might have been at 5. I don't know.
Well, she had 12 assists. So, I mean, hold on. Let me go to the scoreboard.
But shit, what was I going to say?
I don't know. What were you going to say? What was he going to say?
I paused the game to show Casey and Maddie what the pick and roll is.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Little X's and O's with
Yes, and they didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, of course not. They never played.
But did you see the pick and roll, the high screen and roll, where Leah Boston set the pick? Mm-hmm. She had Sophie Cunningham on her hip.
Yep.
And kept her on her hip.
On her hip.
She didn't speed towards
put the hand out, created the angle. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about defense.
No, to get the pass. She got the pass back.
No. So Caitlin had the ball.
Yeah.
Leah Boston came up and set the screen. Okay? So Caitlin goes around Aaliyah Boston, and now because of the screen, Sophie Cunningham, the defender's on her back.
Yeah.
On her hip.
Yep.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yes, and I can.
You're not looking at me.
I don't have to. I know what the play is.
She's on her back. She's slowing down. She's not accelerating towards the hoop. Mm-hmm. She's keeping her on her back, and she's trying to see, is Brittany Griner going to stay with Aaliyah Boston, or is she going to come up and play me? Mm-hmm. So she keeps her on her hip. Yeah. Brittany Griner stays with Aaliyah Boston. Mm-hmm. She gets the end.
Goes down.
The layup.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark goes down.
It was like the perfect pick and roll. Oh, it was amazing.
She kept her here, read the help defender, and then, okay, whatever she's does, I'm going to do the opposite. No, and rookies don't normally do shit like that.
Well, I had to pause it, and I showed Casey and Maddie because I was trying to explain it as it was happening.
That's called.
I don't know what you just said.
That's called basketball acumen, right there. Okay.
Well, it's just such a classic offense.
It is, and it still works.
The oldest move in the book,
and it still fucking works. And why? It's still the same fucking game. Now, how many times you try to change it? It still won the same fucking way. The Boston Celtics did not win a title on their three-point shooting. They won it on their fucking defense. Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
They had one game where they shot 40. They won 4-1. And Porzingis missed half the fucking series. And it didn't matter because they held them below 90 3 games and below 100 at 4 games. That's why they won.
Bada bing.
So, yeah, fundamentals and defense still fucking win basketball games. Holy shit. And I'm not picking on him for that. I'm picking on the dopes who get paid to fucking report this shit. And they're all enthralled with, hey, let's get 53s up. And it's not.
Well, all I was saying was,
you're right.
I was talking to Casey and Maddie. They don't know that that's how you play basketball.
No, they don't. But
So
it's
I was
cool
just
that
telling them.
that you showed them. And you probably said, you know what, they've been doing this since the dawn of the fucking game. And it still
Well, I
works.
said it's a classic offense that's kind of existed forever.
Yeah. Because it works.
Yeah. Because when you explain pick and roll to people, they don't understand what you're talking. Like I remember when you were telling our kids about it.
I have fucking clue.
What? What's a pick?
That was a pick. How do I
And
do
then
that?
you'd be like, now go over there and set the screen.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, what's a screen?
What's that? And then it hit me.
You'd be like, it's a pick.
I'm like, these kids don't watch basketball.
Exactly.
At all. Like, okay, walk over. Here's what you do. And you show them. So, but this is where I get so mad. Because, like, they're 10 years old. Like, I knew what a pick and roll was at 8. Okay? Because I was watching basketball and asking my dad questions. And I keep forgetting these kids ain't you. They don't ain't you. And you still.
That's not how they spend
That's
their
not
time.
how they spend their time. You know? Like,
I wonder why that is.
When I was 9 years old, I knew I never missed a game Larry Bird played. Because they were all, I set my fucking schedule by. I was 9. Because Larry Bird was going to play the fuck. I ain't missing that shit. Like, yes, Mom, I'll get help with the dishes. Yeah. And my parents would use it against me. You're not watching the Celtics tonight. You don't do this. And it fucking would work every time. Like, so,
Dish is done.
Yeah, dish is done.
Larry?
Yep. Clothes in the laundry hamper. Yes.
Kevin?
Make your bed.
Robert?
Yes.
Dennis?
I mean, they could have said go vacuum the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. I would have fucking done it. Okay, so because the Celtics were they were the first dynasty that I saw. I've been very spoiled. I've seen 3 dynasties.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, so anyway, but they were the first one.
You always try to slide that in. Whatever we're talking about. Well, that was my second dynasty.
My second
I
one.
was shitting rainbows and blowing golden geese.
The 90s were a dark time.
Yes. And then the 2000 came.
Then
I began blowing a Pegasus again as the Patriots won 70 Super
The
Bowls.
Patsies became the Patriots. And Thomas Edward Patrick Brady showed up. And yes, I remember. Yeah, so anyway, no, I've been...
The man with the golden cock.
But my first sports hero was Larry Bird.
Okay.
So, and this is what they did. And it still works.
Pick and roll.
Pick and roll, baby.
Pick and roll.
Caitlin Clark, 6.9 assists, flirting with 7, missed a triple-double by 1 damn rebound, and goes on the road and beats a team that's in the playoffs right now. So they're ascending their coach, who we've been blasting since day one. They're improving. So you got to at some point tip your cap to her. So she must be doing something right, because they look better than they did a month ago. They do. And the coach has to get some credit for that.
Well, they've talked a lot about how shitty the schedule has been for all the teams.
They have a bad...
Where, like, you have no practices.
Yeah, they don't...
Because some of these teams are on the road for 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is the thing where, I mean, and again, it's only 12 teams. They got to get 16 or 20 where they can. If you have a road trip,
Can't support it right now, though.
No, they haven't.
They really got to build it up.
They could probably do 2 teams in the next 2 years, realistically. 2 teams in the next 2 years, and then maybe a couple years from now, if this keeps going this way, you talk about a couple more. You don't just throw 4 teams in. You can't do that. It's impossible.
No.
So, but I could see them adding a team in 2 years, maybe another one in 3 years, depending on what market
See,
it
if
is.
people keep coming out of college, like when Juju comes out, Paige Beckers comes out.
Paige Beckers next year.
So they need this talent to start to spread around the league, because
Yeah.
you have some of these teams that are like stockpiled.
Well, this is where adding another team or two.
It's just going to dilute it.
No, it's not going to dilute it. The NBA expanded the same way. It
Right,
doesn't dilute it.
but it dilutes the talent.
No, it doesn't. There's more talent now than there was 20 years ago.
No, I understand that. I'm not saying
You just got to get it.
isn't.
All you're doing is spreading that talent out more, so you have more competitive balance, as opposed to these 3 or 4 stock teams, because there's only 12 teams in the league. That's what you do. This is what the NBA went through too.
But when you build expansion teams, they don't get good people.
They got the number 1 pick in the draft.
The expansion team does?
Yeah, their first year, and they had the number 1 pick in the fucking draft. Yeah, because they're the new team. They get the number 1 pick in that draft. I
thought they did a supplemental draft.
No, if they added,
they got to pick from a bunch
that's
of...
before the draft. What you do is you have to leave a certain amount of veterans unprotected, and they cherry pick whatever they want.
But then
and then they have the first pick in the draft. So you're leaving.
Really?
Yep.
Let me look at this.
Well, that's how the NBA did it. I don't know how they're doing it, but that's how the NBA did it with Toronto and Charlotte was the other one. So what they did was you had to leave. You could only protect so many veterans, and then whatever they could cherry pick which ones they wanted to take.
Okay.
And then they got the number one pick in that draft because they didn't have a draft pick yet, so they were the number one pick. So they're not going to just throw them in there at 7. It's like, or 8. No, they're going to be the number one pick. So because they don't have a team. So they're getting, say, 7 or 8 veterans, and they're going to pick the number one player in the draft. And they're going to get another one there. So that's how they did it with Toronto and Charlotte. So the Pelicans moved, like, from another city. So, but anyway, that's what the WNBA will do if and when this expansion hits. Because common sense-wise, that's what is the right thing to do. If a team is brand new, you let them cherry-pick veterans that they can. And then they're not going to be their A-list players. They're going to be role players at best. So how do you – well, you're also going to get the number one pick in the draft. So whoever the best players come, you're going to get that player because you're going to build around that player. The idea is to have them with a hope or the chance to have success. So letting them cherry-pick the bottom third of the league is not going – they're going to build a playoff team out of that. They're going to be able to field a team because those guys are already good enough to be in the league. Okay? And then you're getting the best, you get the number one pick. Whichever way, you pick that player, whoever it is, for you. So that's how the NBA did it back in the day. The WNBA,
You're talking about the expansion draft that happens.
That's where they leave people unprotected.
Right. You can protect up to 8 players on your
Yes,
team.
that's what and then they cherry pick if it's an expansion, whatever those players are, they pick the ones they want. They're not going to pick all of them. They're going to pick the ones that they want for whatever style they're going to play. And then when the draft comes up, they're getting the first pick in that draft. For sure. So, because again, they're getting the bottom third. Their talent pool is the bottom third of the league. In the case of the NBA, which probably will be in the WNBA. So that's how you give them a chance to build a team. They're probably the odds are they're not going to, whoever that player is, they're not going to be good enough to lift into a title in year one with a bunch of bottom third, who they're professionals. They're good enough to be in the league, but you're not building a championship team out of them. You're just building a team. So that's at least how they would do it. In any event, I forget when they play. By the way, tonight, since we're talking WNBA,
the Sun is playing tonight.
Yeah, the Connecticut Sun, with 3:18 to go, they're beating Phoenix 76-68. And in the fourth quarter, Seattle is crushing Dallas 84-57. That's your WNBA scoreboard for this evening. So, look, in any event, kudos to Caitlin Clark. Kudos to Diana Taurasi. That was cool. And maybe, just maybe, now that the rest of the league has seen its GOAT do that, maybe they'll start to follow suit a little bit. And again, I'm not saying don't compete. Obviously, you try to beat her. But do it with some class, which it appears at least Taurasi and her teammate Brittany Garner the other night showed that, which was pretty cool to me. So, unless Tom has anything further.
I was trying to get more information on this expansion draft.
Well, they don't know when they're going to do it, so there's probably not a ton of information yet.
Well, it's just like information on how it's worked in the past. Yeah.
Well, again, the WNBA can do this however they want it, but that's just normally how it's been done.
Yeah.
So, but in any event, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the team is in Boston. I want a Boston team.
In the NHL, the Seattle Kraken selected 3rd in the 2021 draft. It's interesting.
I don't understand why that happened.
Isn't that weird?
Makes no sense at all. Of course, these are hockey players. They've taken a few pucks to the head, so among other things. So half of them don't have all their teeth. So I mean, they've probably had a few concussions.
So somebody said there was actually an explicit rule that Toronto and Vancouver couldn't get the first pick for their first 3 seasons.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, the
Somebody
WNBA.
says, I think they just assigned them a lottery chance.
Oh, that stupid thing where they go in the lottery and they may get. I hate that. That's stupid. I've always hated the draft lottery. I've always fucking hated it. If you're the worst team in the league, you get the number 1 pick.
Exactly.
I fucking hate that.
Why is it a lottery?
Let's hope the WNBA does not do that with their expansion teams. That would be fucking donkey shit right there. You're the worst fucking team. You have no team. You have not so fucking. You got to build around something. So you might as well give them a chance to get the best. And again, it may not even be the best player in the play. It may be the system they want to coach, and that player fits that system. It doesn't mean it's even the best player necessarily. So it could be the best talent there. It could be someone that fits the system. But give them the choice. They have no one, nothing. Okay, you're not leaving all stars unprotected. You're leaving the bottom third of your fucking roster. Please. So, anyway, that's just common sense to me. And if to do it any other way, you're overthinking it.
Common sense.
Or you're a donkey. Because we'll give him a fourth pick.
You're a donkey and you know or clap your hands.
You could hear him right now in the NHL office in New York, wherever it is. So, anyway, that's going to do it for our show tonight. You guys, enjoy your vacation. I know Thomas and I are going to. I will be doing a Patriots first look up north. That'll be a laugher.
Hold on, what with who? Pete?
Sean Darcy.
Darcy.
And probably Ian. Pete shows up. He might do a Cowboys preview.
I have to watch him.
He can't be too excited about the Cowboys this year, and I am. Because when all else fails, as long as the Cowboys lose, it's not a bad season at the end of the day. Because that would be 29 years since they won the Super Bowl if they don't win it this year.
They're not winning it this year.
I know that. That's the best part of that. I know that. And that's why it's already going to be a good season. Although I am curious, Aaron Rodgers has a lot to answer for. So one of two things is going to happen to him. And I'm betting the latter. And if you're wondering what that means, it starts with a B, followed by a B, and then maybe other B's. So, talking about bum blasted. Talking about getting blasted in the bum.
There's only two B's.
But bum blasted in the bum.
How many times you gotta say it?
In Aaron Rodgers' case, it's never
Bumathon's
enough.
only one B.
In Aaron Rodgers' case, it's never enough.
You think it's gonna be a bumathon in New York?
I do. I think he's gonna go splat, and I hope he does. All this crap. First of all, he skipped OTAs. That was an unexcused absence. He's already being a donkey.
He was in Egypt.
Exactly. He was in Egypt. The fucking ass clown missed all of last season. Everything they're doing is for him, and he goes to fucking Egypt. What a fucking jackass. Are you serious?
He was at all the voluntary stuff.
OTAs is mandatory.
I know, but he was at all the voluntary stuff.
That doesn't excuse. They need him there now. You fucking brag. Oh, OTAs back in May. I don't give a fuck about May now.
No, but
he's going to be ramping this team up. He's the fucking leader of the team.
I know, but I think he went to even all the voluntary stuff to say, hey, I'm invested, but I do have
I'm going to make this real simple. Peyton Manning would never have done that.
Well,
Tom Brady would never have done that. Joe, none of these guys that
neither one of them.
Drew Brees would never have done that. None of the guys that the table that they want to put him at would ever fucking do this.
That's probably true.
So I don't want. He doesn't. And by the way, he acts like he sits at that table, even though he doesn't. He doesn't sit at that table. He thinks he's at the table, but he's really not.
People have given him the chair.
Yeah. Well, why? He hasn't earned it. So.
Because he can throw a football through a needle in a haystack.
On his bum. From his cheeks. So Tom goes to take a piss. That's the end of the show. You guys enjoy the vacation. I will see you up north from the Cape. And then we'll reconvene back here Thomas and I will be back together probably July 16th. But until then, you guys have a great, healthy, fun, safe 4th of July. For the redoubtable one himself, the highly questionable one, you guys know the drill, America. And then he'll come back and go, why'd you turn it off without me? You won't see it, but trust me,